This journey was a quick and unplanned one, and hence, all preparations had to be done in a couple of hours' time. The destination of the journey is Goa, which is a state on the southwestern coast of India. We started our journey en route Goa from Kerala, which is the southern state in India. After a journey of 15 hours, we arrived at Madgaon railway station by around 2 a.m. Madgaon is considered as the gateway to tourists traveling to Goa by train, as it has direct rail connections with several major cities in India. We hired a cab, which took us to the hotel situated in Panjim, the capital city of the state. The hotel was situated in the prime entertainment area of the capital city. It is just walkable distance from the floating casinos for which Goa is famous for. It was too early to complete the check-in formalities, and hence, we decided to have our breakfast from a nearby shop. The tea shop had a fair number of customers during the early morning hours of the day. The tea shop served us some delicious local cuisine. My friends decided to spend really good time at the tea shop, to match with our hotel check-in time. On the way back to the hotel, we decided to take a different road to understand the area better. The hotel, Treehouse Neptune, was booked online, using the service provider Agoda. We completed the hotel check-in formalities, and decided to go ahead with a ride to the city. Even though the hotel is not situated inside a private gated property, the location of the hotel provides comforts for bachelors. We hired a motorcycle, and headed to the nearby attraction. The street led us to an ancient and famous attraction of Goa, Our Lady of Immaculate Conception Church. The original construction on this site is believed to have been a chapel, built in 1541, so that sailors could give thanks to God for delivering them safely to Goa, and avoiding the perils of the sea, before continuing their journey ahead. This chapel was later rebuilt, in 1619, into the church that stands there today. The prominent feature of the church are the two beautiful towers, constructed on the top of the church. The church houses the ancient bell, that was removed from the Augustinian ruins of the Church of Our Lady of Grace. This bell is considered to be the second largest of its kind in Goa. It is often referred to as the Crown of Panjim. A very skillfully designed zigzag staircase of 78 steps, leads one to the hilltop church. This zigzagging double staircase was a later addition, added in 1871, after the land in front of the church was reclaimed. The architecture of the present church is a beautiful blend of the Portuguese Baroque and Goan styles. It is a classic whitewashed structure, which shines brightly under the golden sun. The reason behind choosing the white color is to signify the Immaculate Virgin, Mary. This color is complemented with a little use of deep sky blue color, to signify the calmness. The church is located in Panjim, and sits atop a hill facing the square below. The imposing facade is distinctive with its 2 towers, and even taller belfry. The interior of this church is comparatively simple, especially when one compares it to the profusely decorated reredos and carvings that one sees in the churches in Old Goa. The decoration has been skillfully and gracefully executed, both on the main altar, and on the 2 sub-altars which flank it. The main altar is dedicated to Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception. The altar on the right is dedicated to Our Lady of the Rosary, while the one on the left is dedicated to the Crucifixion of Christ. One cannot seem to go anywhere in Panaji without passing, or at least seeing this church. Maybe, as I'm a wildlife enthusiast, this statue of the bull, near the church complex caught my attention, and I spared few minutes at the statue square. We decided to move to Old Goa, which is around 10 kilometers away from the capital city. On our way, we had close view of the giant floating casinos resting under the hot sun. These casinos will be vibrant after sunset with illuminated lights, music, party and beverages. Old Goa was the former capital of Portuguese India and is a historical city, which homes the UNESCO World Heritage Site, named Churches and Convents of Old Goa. The Basilica of Bom Jesus is a Roman Catholic basilica, and is a part of Churches and Convents of Goa. Bom Jesus literally translates to Holy Jesus. The structure is considered to be the best examples of Baroque architecture, and Portuguese colonial architecture in India. The basilica was ranked in 2009, as one of the 7 wonders of Portuguese origin in the world. Construction of the church began in 1954, and was consecrated in May 1605, by the Archbishop, Father Aleixo de Menezes. This World Heritage Monument has emerged as a landmark in the history of Christianity. It is the only church in Goa that has not been plastered on the outside. Except for its gilded altars, the structure of the Basilica of Bom Jesus has a simple construction. The church complex includes a white cross, straight in front of basilica facade. The basilica, located in Old Goa, holds the mortal remains of Saint Francis Xavier. The remains of the saint attracts a huge number of Christian and non-Christian tourists from all over the world, especially during the public viewing of his body, once in every decade. The three-storied structure stands 75 feet wide and 78.5 feet tall. The facade, which has a triangular roofing and built out of granite, is divided into 4 parts. The lowest section has 3 doors set into it, a large one in the middle with 2 smaller ones flanking it. The interior of the basilica measures 83 feet in length, 51 feet in width, and 61 feet in height. The interiors, while being furnished with the best of materials, show a remarkable simplicity, typical of Renaissance design. The basilica contains 2 chapels, 3 altars, a sacristy and a choir loft. The main altar measures a massive 54 feet by 30 feet. The main altar is extremely well carved and gilded. The reredos has within it a large statue of Saint Ignatius of Loyola, protecting the infant Jesus. To the right is an altar, which is dedicated to Saint Anthony, and to the left is a well-carved statue of Saint Francis Xavier. The saint is said to have miraculous powers of healing. The Mausoleum, on the top of which is placed the silver casket with the body of Saint Francis Xavier, was the gift of the last of the Medicis, Cosimo III, the Grand Duke of Tuscany. It took 10 years to complete. The basilica contains an art gallery and has displays of the vestments and photographs related to Saint Francis Xavier. Francis Xavier died while en route to continental China, on 3 December 1552. The body of Francis Xavier was first taken to Portuguese Malacca, and 2 years later brought to Goa. It is said that the saint's body was as fresh as the day it was buried. The glory and grandeur of the church are best expressed in post-monsoon, when the rain showers have cleaned the surroundings, and left the exterior of the church in a vividly detailed pattern. The church resides at a distance of 24 kilometers from Goa International Airport, and 10 kilometers from Panjim. This distance can be easily covered by hiring a cab, or an auto, from airport or capital city.